Okay, let's start our today's second video. In this video, we will be doing second part for lecture 3. We're going to learn how to answer your questions, in your papers, in your research papers. And these answers and questions have to be regarding your subject. Subject is the thing that you study and discuss, right? Generally speaking, the subjects of policy research are the relations between problems and actions. So suppose you raise questions like this. What actions are needed to address these problems? Then you should answer to this question. Your answer may be this. Problems should be tackled by strict legal measures, for example. Another research question may be this. What effects should be caused by these actions? And then you have to give it the answer like this. Such actions will result in decreasing crimes, for example. So questions and answers should be shown in either side of this problems and circles, cycles, basically. You don't need to, stuck to this framework, but using this framework will be useful for all of you too. I recommend that you focus on either side of this framework. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about from now is how you say that your answers are correct. Okay. Once you're decided about your questions and answers, how do you prove it? This is our topic in this video. So we're going to look at procedures for research. And in the first section, we will be looking at basics. What is your sources? Or what are your sources and what are your findings? We will learn basics from now. All right. First of all, you need to know your scope. Your scope means your range or width of your research. In short, how you did your research is scope. Look at this illustration. Our papers must start from questions, right? And after that, after stating your questions, you need to show your goals. These are the things that you have to write in the introduction part. And in the goals, you need to write what you want to know in your paper. Okay, goals is the thing that you want to know. But you cannot get to this goal directly. Okay, you have your goals in your mind, but the ways to reach that goals is a long one. So you should use your method, you should use your materials, and you should follow your steps. And after that, as a result, you get what you actually found. In short, you get facts. You get fact that you found. The fact that you found. As long as you follow these processes, you can give your answers to your research questions. Therefore, whenever you want to do this process, you should have your own method, materials, and steps, right? Also, you should explain them as your scope. This is what you write in the first section of our research paper format. Okay, but how do you do that? What are materials? What are methods? What are steps? This I'm going to explain from now. So let's look at two slides. One way to do these research is to use secondary literature. I believe, I guess 99% of the students do this, okay? Because this is much easier than the method that I will show you in the next slide. Okay, this is much easier, so 99% students will do this. Our purpose is to understand the realities, right? So this is your subject. This is your subject. But how do you know the actual information about these subjects? Unfortunately, most of you do not have any access to these realities. So you should read articles. You should find out these informative articles in libraries or on World Wide Web. These are the two biggest places where you can find informative articles. Okay. Then, in this pattern, what would be your materials? The articles you found in books and websites are the materials you need. So you should write this. I used these articles in my research. I didn't use these articles in my research, and so on. So then what is your method? Your method should be how you searched, collected, read, and interpreted such articles. And what is your step? Your steps may be how you did all these process and how you decided to focus on one or two of the topics that were included in the articles. But anyway, these are the things that you need to explain in the scope part. By doing all this, you should find out important facts from these articles. Then you should pick up some of the data and write them down in your paper. This is your research, and this is what you should write in your papers. Okay, so there are three important phases. You have your subjects, you have your scope, and you have your findings. Okay, then look at the next slide. Using first-hand documents is another way to know something about your realities. Every year, in every course, about 1% of the students do this. So if you are interested in it, then you can try. Again, you are interested in realities, and then this time let's suppose that you didn't have enough information in libraries and on websites. In such a case, you need to collect and analyze your own data by yourself. We call these data raw data. raw data. Okay, these data may be varied. Okay, you should collect the data and analyze data, but the data may be statistical tables, and these data may be conversation records of conversation between a couple of people. These documents with this data are regarded as your materials. Okay, and your methods are how you collected and analyzed the data. And your steps are how you decided to do that, how you managed to do that, and how you focused on one or two of the results of your analysis. After you finished these processes, then you begin your writing, right? So you need to write what you found in your analysis. And this is your findings. So this is what you should do when you use first-hand documents. Did you understand what are the differences between using secondary literature and using first-hand documents? Okay, when you use this, when you do this, then you should yourself make collecting and analyzing. So this will be very difficult, or this will take a long time, at least longer time than literature studies. Okay, anyway, we looked through two basic types of research procedure. Then let's go to the second notices. Focusing your results is another important thing. You should focus on one or two things, okay? Let me explain why. You probably get many sources and you read many sets of data, hopefully. So from these sources, you will get so many data, so various data. There are basically two steps. First, you should examine all the data that you found in your sources. I mean, if you read articles, then you should read through the sentences and figures in the article. Okay, so you should examine all the data. However, after examining all the data, you shouldn't use all of them. So second, you should pick up one or two of these data. So you can use only two data, basically. Your results will be this. So they will be your facts. And these facts you should write in your results part. Okay. All right. This advice will help you if you are kind of facing difficulties. Okay, you should focus on one or two data. Summary. Course reports should show data in order to explain the facts that authors found out. Using these facts, authors should answer to research questions. First-hand investigations, such as statistical inferences and conversation analysis, are not necessary in this course. All you should do is to argue for your findings based on facts. And these facts can be drawn from articles. Okay. All right. Then let's next go to the second section. Let's look at examples. All right, let's look at the examples that we saw last week. Okay, in these examples, the authors wrote their result that has something to do with goals and effects. Okay, the first example paper wrote the measures and goals of water shortage things. So let's look at that first. Example 1, restriction measures in Sydney. If you look for information about restriction measures or water use restriction measures in Sydney, I mean, if you Google it, then you will find this article. And this article is very useful. So if you are the researcher, you will want to use one of the tables in the article. So in such a case, you can use this table in your paper too. And if this article was written by Haki, Ahmed, and Raman, they are the names of the authors. Then you should use the tables as well as their authors' names. Okay, this is the place you write the original authors' names. Don't forget to write the original authors' names. If you didn't write the authors' names, then it means you are pretending to be, you are pretending that you yourself made this table. But this is not true, right? They made this table. So you should mention their name. Okay? And after that, you should write your explanation about it. Okay? I say this because some students, every year, some students just copy and paste the table and finish it. No, this is not good. You should write your own interpretation. You should write your own understanding of the content of the table. Okay, this is what you should do. Let's look at the next example. Showing effects of bus rapid transportation systems in Jakarta. Okay, do you remember the topics of the report that we saw last week? Okay, anyway, if you put keywords such as Jakarta, bus rapid transit, effects, results, consequences, and so on, then you will probably find this website. This website was very useful one, and the authors were Gado, Granskner, I don't know how to read, but and Rosenberg, 3 authors. And they made this graph. And this graph is very easy to understand and very informative. So you probably want to use this graph. And of course, you can do it. A student's paper did it last year. So in his paper, the author wrote, the author used the graph, and they also wrote the names of the authors. Okay, and the paper's author also wrote the interpretation and understanding about the graph. This is what you should do. This is what all of you should do in your paper. So basically, result 1 has 1 figures, and result 2 have another figure. Okay, this is how you make result parts. Did you get the image of how to write? I hope so. So this is the last slide. As I told you last week, I would like all of you to plan your outline of your papers. So please download the format for outlines and write all the needed items following this note. And don't forget to submit your Word file or PDF file by December 22nd, Tuesday. Okay, this is the deadline. So you have only 4 or 5 days to finish it off. So please study hard, and I would like you to find out some informative data. Okay, this will make your research very good ones. All right, so that's all about today. Thank you very much for watching the videos. And again, I am very sorry about these long videos. I want to make it now shortened, but I'll try it next year. So okay, so anyway, I'm looking for your research outlines, okay, on next Tuesday. Right, then bye.